In August 2021, 22-year-old American woman and travel vlogger Gabrielle Venora Petito was killed by her fiancé, Brian Christopher Laundrie, while they were on a van life road trip across the United States. The trip, which began on July 2, 2021, was intended to last 4 months. However, Petito disappeared in late August. Following her disappearance, Laundrie returned alone to his parents' home in Northport, Florida, refused to speak to authorities, and was named a person of interest. An arrest warrant was later issued for his unauthorized use of Petito's debit card. On September 19, 2021, Petito's remains were found in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest. The autopsy concluded that she died by blunt force trauma and manual strangulation. Laundrie vanished soon after and was later found dead by suicide in a Florida nature reserve. A notebook recovered near his remains contained a written confession in which he admitted to killing Petito. The case sparked national attention due to the couple's social media presence, police body cam footage of a prior domestic incident, and Laundrie's subsequent disappearance. Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie began their 4-month road trip across the United States on July 2, 2021. The couple traveled in a white 2012 Ford Transit Connect van that Petito had purchased and converted into a camper. They departed from Blue Point, New York, after attending her brother's graduation. In the weeks that followed, they visited several national landmarks, including Monument Rocks in Kansas, the Great Sand Dunes in Colorado, Zion and Bryce Canyon National Parks in Utah, and the Mystic Hot Springs. Gabby actively documented the trip on her Instagram account and had launched a YouTube channel titled Nomadic Static, where she posted a single video on August 19th. By mid-August, tensions had begun to surface. On August 12th in Moab, Utah, a 911 call was made by a witness who reported seeing Laundrie hitting Petito. Police from the Moab City Police Department conducted a traffic stop near Arches National Park. Gabby was visibly upset and crying throughout the encounter, while Laundrie appeared calm. Officers separated them for the night. Gabby stayed in the van, and Brian was taken to a nearby motel. They reunited the following day and continued their travels. On August 17th, Brian flew from Salt Lake City to Florida to empty a storage unit and returned on August 23rd. During that time, Gabby stayed alone at a hotel near the airport. Gabby's last confirmed communication with her family was on August 25th, when she said they were on their way to Grand Teton National Park and Yellowstone. That same day, she posted a final image to her Instagram. On August 27th, she was seen alive for the last time at a Tex-Mex restaurant in Jackson, Wyoming. According to a witness, Laundrie became aggressive with staff during an argument over the bill. Gabby returned to the restaurant in tears, apologizing for his behavior. Later that evening, they were captured on CCTV at a Whole Foods nearby. They returned to their van at approximately 2:30 p.m. and were seen driving north toward the Bridger-Teton National Forest. On August 12, 2021, a disturbing 911 call from Moab, Utah, reported a man slapping a woman in a van outside the Moonflower Community Cooperative. That man was later confirmed to be Brian Laundrie, and the woman was Gabby Petito. The caller described a physical altercation where Laundrie allegedly struck Gabby before they both ran down the sidewalk and left together. Shortly after, police stopped the couple near the entrance to Arches National Park. Officers from the Moab City Police Department approached the van to find Gabby sobbing uncontrollably in the passenger seat. Police body cam footage captured Gabby apologizing repeatedly and describing herself as having OCD and being mean due to stress from their trip and blogging efforts. She admitted to slapping Laundrie first and requested not to be separated from him. One officer noted visible marks on Gabby's face and arms. Laundrie claimed Gabby was upset, grabbed his face, and scratched him. He insisted he was trying to calm her down and had told her to take a walk. The officers decided not to arrest either party, classifying the situation as a mental health crisis rather than domestic violence. Laundrie was taken to the Bowen Motel for the night, while Gabby remained in the van. This interaction later became a focal point of criticism and a lawsuit against the Moab Police Department. Gabby's parents alleged that the officers failed to follow protocol under Utah's lethality assessment protocol and ignored signs that could have prevented her death. The police chief took a leave of absence during an internal investigation. Meanwhile, Body cam footage and the 911 recording went viral online. Gabby's last contact with her family was on August 25th when she told her mother they were headed to Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks. That same day, she posted photos to Instagram, posing in front of a butterfly mural in Ogden, Utah. It would be her final post. On August 27th, the couple was seen arguing at the Mary Piglet's restaurant in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Witnesses described Laundrie as aggressive and angry, yelling at staff over a bill. Gabby, clearly upset, returned to apologize for his behavior. This incident marked a turning point. Hours later, CCTV captured them shopping at Whole Foods, then returning to their van before driving toward the remote Spread Creek dispersed camping area, the last place Gabby would be seen alive. That night, a strange text was sent from Gabby's phone to her mother. "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." Stan was her grandfather, but Gabby never called him by his first name. Her mother instantly suspected something was wrong. Two key pieces of video evidence emerged later. First, YouTubers recorded Gabby's white Ford Transit van, parked awkwardly off the road at Spread Creek around 6 p.m. on August 27th. Second, a TikTok user recalled giving Brian a ride while he was hitchhiking alone on August 29th. He offered $200 for the lift, but became agitated when the destination wasn't where he expected. Another woman said she also picked up Laundrie near the Jackson Lake Dam, noting that he refused to be dropped off directly at the van's location. Meanwhile, texts from Gabby's phone kept coming, even after she was presumed dead. One said, "No service in Yosemite," raising more red flags. Investigators later believed Brian was using her phone to cover his tracks and send misleading messages. He also transferred $700 from Gabby's account to his, including a memo that read, "Goodbye, Brian, I'll never ask you for anything again." By September 1st, 2021, Brian Laundrie had returned alone to his parents' home in Northport, Florida, driving the same white van Gabby had last been seen in. He offered no explanation for her absence. Just 10 days later, on September 11th, Gabby Petito's family reported her missing. As police pressed the Laundrie family for answers, they stonewalled investigators. Brian refused to speak, hiding behind a lawyer. His parents, too, avoided cooperation. Then came a crucial breakthrough. On September 19th, authorities discovered human remains in the Spread Creek dispersed camping area of the Bridger Teton National Forest in Wyoming, the same spot where Gabby's van had last been seen. An autopsy later confirmed the worst. It was Gabby. She had died from blunt force trauma to the head and neck, as well as manual strangulation. The coroner estimated her death occurred 3 to 4 weeks before the discovery. Public outcry intensified. Brian Laundrie, now the prime suspect, had vanished. His parents claimed he had gone on a solo hike into the nearby Carlton Reserve on September the 13th and never returned. But it would take weeks before authorities realized he was truly missing. In a stunning failure, Northport police admitted they had confused Brian's mother for him during their surveillance and assumed he was still at home. On September 23rd, an arrest warrant was issued, not for murder, but for unauthorized use of Gabby's debit card, which he allegedly used to withdraw over $1,000 between August 30 and September 1st. As the manhunt expanded across Florida's swamps and reserves, police uncovered nothing. No sightings, no tracks, no trace of Laundrie. On October 20th, 2021, exactly 1 month after Gabby Petito's body was discovered, the search for Brian Laundrie came to a grim end. His skeletal remains were found in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park in Florida, near his family's home. The area had previously been underwater due to flooding, which may have delayed the discovery. Near his body, police recovered a dry bag and a notebook. Inside that notebook was Brian Laundrie's chilling confession. He admitted to killing Gabby. The FBI later released a statement saying the note clearly indicated responsibility for her death. In the entry, Laundrie claimed Gabby had fallen into a creek, was in unbearable pain, and that he killed her to put her out of her misery. Experts later dismissed this explanation as inconsistent with the autopsy, which showed strangulation, not any injury consistent with a fall. An autopsy revealed Laundrie had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. It was a quiet end to a case that had captivated the world for months. On November 17, 2022, Gabby Petito's estate filed a wrongful death claim against Brian Laundrie's estate. Though the court awarded $3 million, the recovery was unlikely due to Laundrie's limited assets. Petito's parents also filed a lawsuit against Laundrie's parents and their attorney, claiming emotional distress because the family allegedly withheld information about Gabby's fate. That lawsuit was settled in February 2024 during mediation, though the details remain undisclosed. On November 19, 2022, the Petito family launched a $50 million wrongful death lawsuit against the Moab Police Department, arguing that the officers failed to enforce domestic violence laws during the traffic stop on August 12, 2021. The complaint was later amended to include claims that Officer Eric Pratt admitted Brian Laundrie was a threat and ignored the law. On November 20, 2024, a judge dismissed the lawsuit, citing the Governmental Immunity Act of Utah, which protects public entities from such claims. However, the judge acknowledged the officer's conduct may have contributed to her death. Gabby's parents plan to appeal the dismissal, arguing the law is unconstitutional. This legally closed the chapter on one of the most high-profile missing persons cases in recent U.S. history. But for Gabby Petito's family, the fight for justice continues, not just for their daughter, but for every unheard voice. This case left behind more than heartbreak. It raised awareness about how quickly things can unravel behind a filtered Instagram post. If you found this story important, subscribe and help us keep telling the stories that demand to be heard.